It's so good to see you again. Loved getting your feedback last week. The overwhelming response, no surprise, was how do I stay so fit and fabulous? I don't do a whole lot. Genetics, I do some stuff sometimes. The sexiest part of a woman's body, there's two of them. This part, Adam's apple, where it would be. You guys were looking, I'm like, my eyes are up here. This part would be down yonder. I call that the knee pit. So I'm gonna teach you how to work those out. I'm just gonna get us moving. I'm gonna call this one the ostrich. Gonna strengthen and tone your arms and your legs. Put your arms up in a wing. Make sure you're really flexing right here into like a pirouette, like a little pirouette. Stick it out, lean back. This is really gonna get that knee pit we're talking about. And step out. That's gonna get the neck part. You might wanna pump up the jams. I'm gonna go right across like so. What I'm doing with the shoulders, I'm spiraling it. It's gonna strengthen maybe this part. Movement number one, inspired by the great outdoors. Steve Irwin would be proud. R.I.P. WWBD. Kind of like WWJD. Mom, what would Jesus do? Pray. This one is what would Beyonce do. This. The thigh butt region. I push so a mattress is coming tumbling off the wall. What? No! Push it. You can push it to the side. All the way around. Might strengthen that. If you really get the mattress off. Oh, this is good. It's gonna be slanted like a mountain. Rocky Mountain High, you know, with daggers. Because we are strong women. Mom, just gonna jog it out. What I'm doing here is just, I'm taking inspiration from the world around. I see trees, I see bushes, and I'm asking myself, what do they make me feel? And they make me feel surprised. Take this as a lesson learned. If you don't know how to work out, think of your own emotions and just act them out. So, surprise face. I'm scared. I'm working out my hands, arms, this sexy part of my neck, and then when I'm scared, the sexy bits really, aren't we? This is fun. We're having fun. Surprise! Scared. If you're really mad about something, this is a good way to get out the aggression. We're getting sad. Gonna roll it all the way down to the toes and back up. WWJBD. What would Justin Bieber do? Just kidding. He wouldn't work out. He'd be too busy flirting with me, right? So the last one that we're gonna do, take inspiration from your own house. I was making a sandwich. Anything you do if you're just around the house, you can really do well if you accentuate. Grab the almond butter, put it on your toast, spread it, really can spread, and close. A little faster. Here, spread. Here, close. Spread, and close. Those are my secrets. I change them up regularly, but if you do those every day, you should be pretty fit. Hashtag working out with Vibe. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week. Bye. How about we have you run it into me? Right in my hands. Got it. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica Hover. If you are new here, it's so good to have you. Thank you everyone who wrote amazing feedback from last week's video. You like Violet, I like Violet. It is one thing to be Violet with my friends and family. It's another thing to put that on the internet. So I'm really glad you like her. This series, Think Pretty, it's a creative idea, a project that I wanted to do. Online, there are so many tutorials about hair and makeup and how to eat and how to dress. And I love all of it, but I'm not actually good at that stuff. I watch the tutorials, but I don't really know how to make those. But what I do think about a lot, just for fun, is stuff like psychology and how we think and how we relate to people. And I think about God a lot, and I think about beauty a lot. But what I thought would be fun would be to make a series where we're talking about what goes on inside of us to make us more beautiful people. If you haven't seen last week's video, I encourage you to go back and watch it. This one will make sense without it, but it will be better if you've seen it. Beauty is a powerful thing. It attracts. I know this to be true because recently I was at a beach, Manhattan Beach in Los Angeles. If you haven't been, you should go. And around the time of sunset, I didn't actually know it was sunset time, but I figured it out because all of a sudden masses of people started running down the pier. And it was not your typical runner. It was like old people, young people, big people, small people. And it was because everybody wanted to see this beautiful moment. They wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to get their photo of it, of course. But beauty is attractive. It draws you, it invites you. When something sad happens, often we'll bring flowers or a beautiful card or a beautiful song because beauty comforts. Beauty inspires. When you're in a beautiful place or with somebody who's creating beauty, you feel inspired to go do your own beautiful thing. Beauty invokes a sense of peace. Go sit in a garden or on a mountain or by the ocean, and the beauty all around you will calm the chaos. It will bring peace. The beauty that I'm talking about here is not just this superficial kind of outward thing that you see. It's the kind of beauty that moves you on the inside. You know people like this. You know people that are so beautiful that when you're with them, you feel different, you feel safe, you feel secure, you feel invited to be who you are. I have a friend, her name is Elsa. I've actually made a video with Elsa, you should watch it. She's been in a few of mine. In her early 20s, so a few years ago, she lost all of her hair. She had long, beautiful brown hair, and it all started to fall out, and it was a really, really horrible ordeal. Elsa is one of the most beautiful people I know, and I know a lot of people. So Elsa, if you're watching, this is real. In October of last year, Elsa and I had an opportunity to go to Paris Fashion Week together and to encourage some people in the fashion industry and just kind of check out what it would be like to go back and work there, because we would like to do that one day. What I saw in Elsa that stood out to me was this attraction. People are drawn to her. So surrounded by people who are some of the most beautiful people in the world, physically dressed in the nicest clothes in the world. They have, I mean, perfect makeup, perfect hair. It's Fashion Week. People are coming there to display that they are physically exceptional, right? But what I saw when I was there with Elsa, and she didn't wear any wig that week. She was there without any hair on her head, just being her loving, sweet self. People were drawn to her. And not only were they drawn to her, but they were vulnerable in front of her. I saw people who were like these fabulous, I mean, one of them, I think it was like an editor of Vogue, walked out, and of everyone around, Elsa made eye contact with her and encouraged her, and the woman just like became a normal person and was like, wow, thank you so much. And it was this power that Elsa has because of who she is inside, because she sees people, maybe because of what she's been through, real life trauma, tragedy, and she's come out on the other side a more compassionate person, a more loving person. I guess that's the thing. When it comes down to beauty, the word that I'm using is beauty or beautiful, to become a more beautiful version of yourself. But I guess what I'm really saying is becoming a more loving version of yourself. That's what these videos are about, is how do we be loving? Because what I see in Elsa, physically what I see in Elsa is absolute beauty. When I look at who she is as a person, she's physically so beautiful. But when you're with her, there is something so powerful about who she is, and that's what I want to develop in us. And I believe it is love. It is qualities of love. Last week's video, we talked about self-awareness. I was saying that we are responsible for what goes on inside of us. We don't need to know how to fix everything that's happening in us. So just like we might figure out that we have a broken arm, but we're not expected to know how to fix a broken arm, we are expected to go to a doctor who can fix it. In the same way, when we're being self-aware, there's going to be stuff that comes up inside of us. Maybe it's depression, like what I've been through. I've told you about that. I didn't know how to fix it, but I was responsible to go and get help. Whatever is happening in you, you're responsible to figure it out, to communicate with loved ones, and to get the help you need. Okay? Self-awareness. Watch the video. Today, what I'm talking to you about is vision. Having vision. So imagining a tomorrow that is better than today and crafting your life in a way where you're going that way. Vision is powerful. The Bible says without vision, people perish. It's this idea that we are beginning with the end in mind. I think it was like 5 years ago, maybe longer, Sean and I had this experience. We were married, so we've been married, this is our 10th year. But midway through, we were starting these two organizations together through Youth with a Mission. So one is called Calling All Skaters, the other is Beauty Arise. And it started with Sean and I having these ideas, and then a few of our close friends being like, yeah, these are great, let's do it. And so there was a time of our life where we were running our very first Calling All Skaters discipleship training school. We had, I don't know, like 35 students. I'm sorry if I'm saying these details wrong, Sean could correct it, but there were a lot of skateboarding guys hanging out with us. We were all living together. The Beauty Arise staff were living with us, so that's like 5 really sweet girls. And we were traveling all around Los Angeles, staying in the most random places, living like bums. We did not have very much money. We were living at one point, Sean and I were sharing a storage room at a church. We were sleeping on an air mattress. Middle of the night, air mattress would deflate. We're re-inflating it, like the sound was like our every night sound. Living off of food that was just not that healthy or that good quality, but we loved this experience. All of these people sleeping together. Most people were sleeping on the floor, shared a shower, shared one laundry facility, or we all went to the laundromat. Like, it was pretty crazy for 6 months. I remember there was this couple that came to visit us. They also have a nonprofit organization that's really respectable and doing amazing things in the world. And I thought this couple was going to be just as stoked as I was about this life that I was living, because for me it was like, we're doing so many things. The vision that we had with Calling All Skaters was to teach all these skaters around the world about God and how much He loves them, and then equip them to use skateboarding to invest in the lives of others. And we just saw it being this movement that could grow all over the world. And so we were just so excited. So this couple comes to stay. They are sleeping on the floor alongside all of our people. It smells bad. It's not that easy. I don't really realize it. And at one point, the wife comes to me and she says, can I ask you a serious question? Did you grow up on a farm or like live in a barn ever? I'm just wondering because I don't know how you are so excited about this life you're living. It's pretty crazy. And her question, I actually didn't think it was rude, so there was no offense taken. It was more just eye-opening, where I was realizing that the enthusiasm I had about my life, it was genuine, and it did not match my current circumstances. It actually matched my vision. The enthusiasm I had matched my vision. And because I had vision that was really clear, I could endure, I could sacrifice, I had joy, things I did felt meaningful. Cleaning up after a whole bunch of stinky skateboarders felt important. To contrast that now, so in the last 2 years, I lived in Barcelona, Spain. Love Barcelona, but I went through a super severe depression, right? And in that time, I did not have vision for where I was going, for who I was becoming. And I think mental health issues aside, a lack of vision was a huge contributing factor to why I got so low. My home life was beautiful. My family, I mean, I loved my family. My daughter's as sweet as can be. My apartment, like I said, Barcelona, it's Barcelona. But because I didn't have a sense of vision, things felt meaningless and purposeless, and I lost sight of something great. And so what I believe here is that when we have vision, we will find a sense of happiness and contentment and self-esteem that matches the vision. And so then it doesn't really matter what our current circumstances are, whether they're awesome like mine were in Barcelona or a little crazy like they were in that time with Calling All Skaters. Vision keeps us going. There's a famous quote, I thought Rick Warren said it, I don't actually know who says it, but if you're not growing, you're dying. We want to be growing. Brendon Burchard, have you heard of him? He is a life coach for celebrities. I think he's the highest paid life coach in the world. He's a life coach for Oprah, so that's saying something. He writes books, he has a podcast, he has YouTube videos. I know about him because my sister really likes him right now. Anyway, his organization did research on clarity and vision, knowing who you are, knowing where you're going, and they said that there was a direct correlation between people who had a strong sense of vision, a strong sense of clarity, and high self-esteem, happiness, and assertiveness. That's what I want us to be. I want us to be people who have such a strong understanding about who we are becoming that we can find some self-esteem, some meaning, some confidence. So similarly to if somebody was starting a diet or an exercise routine, they would say, I want to be this size, or I want to weigh this much. I want us to be able to do that, where we have a clear sense of like, I want to be patient, I want to be a great listener, I want to be thoughtful, those qualities. So how do we do that? How do we create a sense of vision? Just like when you watch a tutorial and the video ends and you walk away knowing exactly how to do your hair or makeup, I want these videos to be just as clear. So when you finish this video today, I want you to have some things in place that you can do today to help you create some vision for your life. I did them this morning to make sure it works, and it does work. So trust me. I want you to take your life as it is right now. Imagine where you live, who you live with, your current relationship status, single, married, dating, whatever, job, friends, all of it, okay? Keep it as it is. Now imagine that your life is gonna end in 3 months. Sounds sad. I'm saying that you have to keep it as it is because if you really found out your life was going to end in 3 months, maybe you'd be like, I'm quitting everything and going to Jamaica or something. But I want you to keep your life as it is and imagine that your life is ending in 3 months. So all of these people that you're having to see every single day, in 3 months' time are going to be reflecting on who you were as a person. Now the question, what do you want them to say about you? What do you want to be remembered for? So the first thing I'm gonna tell you to do when this video ends is reflect on what you want to be remembered for. And you can even break it down into roles. That's what I did this morning. So I put like, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm just a person, I'm an individual, a child who is loved by God. That's actually what I wrote. I put, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, and so all these different roles. I put, I'm a YouTuber. And then in that, I wrote down, what do I want these people who I'm seeing in my life every day to say about me when I'm gone? The next thing that I did was I looked at my real life right now in the coming week, and I wrote down in my schedule, what are things that I can do that would actually help me to show those qualities. So like, for instance, if I wrote down for Sean that I want to be more thoughtful and intentional about showing him that I'm thinking about him, then in my little planner, I wrote like Tuesday, go to lunch with Sean, Thursday, bring Sean home Flamin' Hot Cheetos. He won't watch this probably, so he won't know if I don't do it, but you can ask him. So you're taking this grand vision of who you want to be remembered for, and you're making it really specific about what are you going to do this week that will help you be more like that. Brendon Burchard also said that if you have goals connected to your vision, then the likelihood that you will actually accomplish that vision is significantly higher. He gave a number of the percentage of how much higher it is. I don't remember, I'm not really a numbers person, but I just know that if you have a clear plan, then you are way more likely to actually become that person that you're trying to become. If you are struggling to have ideas, like sometimes for me, when it comes to motherhood, I really struggle to imagine the type of mom I want to be, especially if I'm dead tired, if I'm a little confused, if I'm carrying some mom guilt around. And so then what I can do, which you guys can do this, is list out some women in your life that are people in your life that are the most beautiful people to you or most loving people to you, and write out some of their qualities. What do they do that is so inspiring to you? And then try and connect that back to your life and implement some of those things. So in last week's video, we were talking about who we are. This is now really talking about where we are going, because when we have a strong sense of who we are and where we're going, then we will be more confident people, more secure people, and that's what we're trying to do here. Those people are very beautiful people. It's not that complicated. It does take intentionality though. If you are not taking time each week to think about who you're becoming and reflect on how close you're getting to that goal, you are gonna get caught up in the here and now. And sometimes the here and now is awesome, but a lot of times you just end up reacting to life as it happens around you. There's a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's really good. And he talks about how you end up living in a way where you're just like putting out fires, where, oh, there's a crisis over here, emergency over here, I forgot to do this thing, I have to go run and do that. It's not living intentionally and responsibly, it's reacting to everything happening around you. And we do not want to be people who are just reactors. We want to be people who are proactive in the way that we live. So have vision and remind yourself of that vision when life gets hard, when you get annoyed, when it gets really tiring, loving your coworkers, your housemates, your spouse, your child, your friends, whoever, when you feel discouraged and you're losing sight of where you're going. Take a minute and remember that where you're going is better than where you are right now. And you might need a friend to help like rally you up and be like, okay, we can do it, come on. It will help, I promise. Thank you so much for watching. We love having you here. Leave comments if you have ideas, questions, anything. I love your feedback. Thanks so much, bye.
Hey guys, I like to exercise. It's good for your body. I like to play, and playing keeps you beautiful. Do you want to see how I like to play? Whoa! Again! Whoa! To be beautiful, I like to eat ice cream, vanilla, and strawberry, and some chocolate. A little bit of chocolate. Do you want to see me do that? Mom, can I do that? This kind of ice cream is called cookies and cream. It's how to scoop. It's how to scoop, Mama. Thanks for watching my video, everybody. I love you. See you last week.